Hello, it's Heather here from Beachcomber Meditation, and I'm here again with my dear friend Tracy Connor. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Heather.
How are you doing today?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, actually. Yeah.
Good,
Been a
good,
busy day, but yeah, I'm pretty good. Um,
good.
so we're going to talk about a year of meditations, which is the Beachcomber Meditation subscription, monthly subscription, and we are going to be talking about the theme for the month of July.
Super.
Hmm.
So, Heather, can you tell me about your theme for July?
Yes. Yeah, the theme for July is resilience. I wanted to do that one next because cultivating resilience can really help us with managing stress. Um, and I really like the approach that my friend Jo, who's a chaplain at Hull Royal, she often does resilience training for the staff at the hospital, and they talk about your bucket, your stress bucket. So, well, it's not a stress bucket, it's a resources bucket to deal with stress. So, like every time you have a stressful situation, your bucket's getting lower and lower and lower. But you need to
Mm,
keep filling your bucket with resources in order to, maintain the resources you need to be able to cope with stressful situations that are happening in life. And I think that so many of us in life have so many stresses happening all the time, and it's very easy to become kind of exhausted, depleted, angry, irritated, stressed, anxious about the things in life that happen. So I thought resilience would be a good theme to have for the next one, which is July. And also, resilience is one of the 6 habits of happy people. So in May we did presence, in June we did gratitude, now we're doing resilience. Yeah.
excellent. So, could you tell me a bit about the approaches you are going to be using to cultivate resilience?
Yeah. So overarching, we're going to be doing a practice for the whole month of body like a mountain. So we do body like a mountain, breath like a wind, heart of compassion radiating like sunshine, mind like the vast open sky, and like mental activity like the weather moving through the sky. So, because presence is really important to help us to manage, and see what's happening, see with clarity kind of the difficult things, the challenges, the stresses that we're facing. And we're going to come back to this body like a mountain approach in the final week of the month, because the awareness, which is the vast open sky, is never impacted in any way by the stressful thoughts, troubling emotions that are moving through it. So actually, that's the biggest resource for resilience. If we can step back into that kind of sense of mind like the vast open sky, never disturbed, always peaceful, always happy. So that's why we're having that as a practice going through the whole of the month. So they'll be, practicing that a couple of times. We'll be practicing that a couple of times a week. And then in the first week, we're going to be drawing on evolutionary psychology. And we're going to be looking at the three circle model of Professor Paul Gilbert, because I think that really gets to the crux of the issue, that we have these three systems in our central nervous system, brain, whatever you want to call it, called the threat system, the drive system, and the soothing system. And the threat system is, the threats that we experience, and it kind of fires up our central nervous system. The drive is this thing that we've got to get to the end of our to-do list, and got to do this, got to do that, and often we end up doing far too much, and we tend to neglect the soothing system, which is the kind of rest and relax and connect with loved ones kind of a system that gets squeezed out because we feel we've really got to drive to achieve, and we've really got to respond to threats that are happening. And the great thing about this model is that we don't actually have to do anything about the drive system. We don't actually have to do anything about the threat system. All we have to do is stimulate the soothing system, and then that will rebalance the whole of the three. Because we need to respond to threats, we need to be able to get up and do things, but we need these three systems to be in balance. And for most of us, what's required is to just stimulate that soothing system. So we'll be checking in regularly through like reflection practice. How are my 3 circles today, and how can I move from the threat and drive circle into the soothing circle? And one of the ways we can do that is by practicing mindfulness and practicing self-compassion. So that's what we're going to be doing in the first week, to kind of get a sense of where we are. And then the second week of the month, we're going to be doing one of my favorite kind of practices, which is the nurturing and depleting activities. So this is really about filling your bucket. So what are the activities you have to do in your daily life that empty your bucket? The things that give you low mood, that make you feel miserable, all these kind of things. Like, can we do less of them? And if we do have to do them, can we reframe them in some way to do them mindfully, or remember the purpose or the meaning as to, why we have to do them? Or can we chunk up these like disagreeable activities into smaller bits and do something nice in between? So that kind of approach. But then also looking at the things that we do in life, or often the things we forget to prioritize in life, that really nourish us, that fill our buckets. And then can we recognize what those things are? Maybe it's doing little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation. Maybe it's going out for a bit of a walk in nature. Maybe it's chatting to your friends, whatever it is, watching something on the telly that makes you laugh. And then prioritizing doing more of these. So that helps with resilience, because we're kind of really filling our bucket with that one. And then in week 3, we're going to use our imaginations, and we're going to
Mm.
be cultivating a resilience ally. So we'll kind of think of a problem that we're facing, and then think like, what kind of qualities do I need to embody to be able to face this problem skillfully? And then we'll imagine a being, which can be a real being, an imagined, a real being, an imagined being, maybe a character from a movie, or it could be a spiritual being. And we imagine this ally and draw these qualities from them, using our imagination, so that they can resource us to face whatever challenges we have. And then in daily life, if that challenge emerges, we can just imagine this ally, because we'll draw it as well. If drawing's your thing, if you don't draw it, you can write out what it looks like, and we can just put it on our shoulder and allow it to help us. Yeah. So that's the third week. And then the final thing is about the inherent resilience of aware being. So this is coming back to the body like a mountain, that we have this amazing awareness that we overlook. So there's the awareness is like the vast open sky, and all the thoughts and emotions are like the weather, and we believe that we're the weather. So we really identify as the weather, and actually the weather is just stuff that's moving through us. So we can come back from that and become the vast open sky like aware being, which is always peaceful, always happy. And if we can step back into that and observe the kind of dynamics of the stressful situations, the challenges from that perspective, then that's our inherent resilience, or we sometimes call it fundamental okayness. Our fundamental okayness, we can really kind of step into that. So that's the overarching kind of what we're going to be doing in in July. Plenty to go at.
Well, sounds absolutely fabulous. And I just felt so calm and peaceful just listening to you explain and describe these things. So, how can people join?
Yeah, well, it's really easy. All you need to do is to go onto the Beachcomber Meditation website and look for a year of meditation, or there's another tab that says Join Us, and then you can just click on Join Us. It's only $9.99 a month. And for that, each week there's guided practices, and some of them have like ambient music on them as an option if you like ambient music in the background. I really do. I'm really enjoying these ambient music practices, because they
Me
really,
too.
they really relax me actually. Yeah. So you get practices to do each day. You get a short teaching blog each week, and then every Thursday evening we meet up on Zoom, between 8 and 9 o'clock, to look at the theme of the week. And yeah, that's all you need to do.
And for 9.99 a month.
Yeah, nine
I
ninety
mean,
nine.
just think how much how many lattes you got get for 9.99, or how
Mm,
much a bottle of wine costs, and
yeah.
you're getting all that. So that's fantastic.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks. So, how does that sound then in terms of cultivating resilience? Would you say?
Well, I think there's so many different approaches, and they're all very workable and practical, and yeah, it really lands with me because I've done all these things,
Mm,
and I know how much resilience they do bring to your
mm,
life. They really, really do. So I feel very excited about this month in particular. So
yeah.
I would come on, join in everybody. It's it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's so cheap,
Mm. Well, what I
and it's
try
going to make so much difference to your life.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. What I tried to do was pick some of the most powerful practices that I've, experienced and taught over the years, the ones that really resonate with people and come back afterwards and say, wow, like I remember doing that a couple of years ago and it really changed my perspective. So I'm hoping.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that the nourishing and depleting exercise. I've done that with people many times, and it is quite surprising how much people get out of it, and the body like the mountain practice, and just beautiful,
Mm,
and the imagery, imagining this this being, this person who's there to help you and support you. It's just very, very powerful, and we know it's all this stuff comes from neuroscience, and that being in the green circle, the rest and digest, and you know being with our family and friends, and yeah, it's very, very powerful stuff.
mm.
Mm, great.
Thanks, Tracy. Thank you. Lovely to talk to you again this evening. So, this has been the Beach Coma Meditation Podcast, and we'll be back with you with another episode in a week or so's time.